Hello, I'm here to speak on D.I.D, dissociative identity disorder, and dissociative amnesia. What do you do and you don't even know that you have been in a dissociative state for a couple of days and suffering from dissociative amnesia and being told that you either said this or said that or did this or did that? It's a scary thing for those who have dissociative identity disorder. And it all ties up together even with the borderline personality disorder. Most people say that they just changed the name because dissociative identity disorder, when they first diagnosed somebody, it was called multiple personality disorder. Okay, so how do you keep yourself grounded? What skills would you use? Would you try using a TIP by splashing the water on your face to keep you present? Would you even know at any given time that you're suffering from the D.I.D, especially if no one's never really around you? So how would you know that you were not yourself when in fact no one's around you? You want to know how you would know? Depending on the situation. If you wander off somewhere and wonder how you got there. But it's too late. Because when you come back to either yourself or one of your other personalities, you're going to be like, how did I get here? And if you drive, and you'll be like, how did I do that? If you drive the same path, it's a familiar path. You're not blind when you dissociate, okay? So you're not blind. You can drive and drive safely. You just don't know that you're doing it. Depending on what personalities that you have in you and the age bracket that they fall under will determine how safely you would drive. Now, if something happens in the midst of you driving, oh yeah, I do believe that'll snap you out of that dissociative state real fast. Because fight, flight, or mode, whatever that thing is, sometimes kick in. And then you have to think and react real fast for safety reasons for yourself and those that's around you if you are driving in that state of being. Now, if you suffer from that and you are this wild teenager who's a daredevil, who think that they can outrun buses or make quick turns in front of cars and just be missed by a second and think that it's a fun thing, joyriding and putting themselves at risk, but they don't think they're putting themselves at risk because why? They're fearless. These if you have a teenager part of you identity issue, they're daredevils. So you have to be mindful. And one that suffers from borderline personality disorder really shouldn't be alone, especially if you don't have a handle on it, okay? The idea is to get a handle on it. And I recommend, if you haven't read it, it's a little small book. It's called I Hate You, Don't Leave Me, Understanding Borderline Personality Disorder. Someone stole the book that I had, and I would recommend getting that book for the simple fact, when you're having your battles with your family members or your children, it's always a good tool that to have that, a couple of copies of them, okay? and to have them where, give them to people that you think is valuable to be in your life, okay? If they're not worth being in your life, don't worry about it. And I stated before, Millie the cat has borderline personality disorder. That's a simple way to explain it. And people that are around you that don't understand you will think it's an attention seeker, that you're doing the things you do, you are aware of it, and you just want attention. Not so. When somebody throw that at you, if you have a printer and if you felt like printing the stuff out, mail it to them. Let them read for themselves. Let them make the decision to be there for you or not to be there for you. After they read it and after they done said all the stuff that it said to beat you down and wear you down, if they are a real woman or a real man, they will come back and apologize. And in the same token, if they're true to themselves, they'll let you know, I can't handle this. Okay? That's another part of radical acceptance, when somebody walk away and say that they can't handle this. 80% of the population that has borderline personality disorder are in institutions. They're not coming out. Only 20% can live in the general public and try to function normally. I'm not so certain on what percentage of that 80% that's hospitalized that actually take their life. Okay? That's how intense this is. That most people with borderline personality disorder cannot function in the real world. And it's hard because when you try to explain it, and you get your words mixed up when you're trying to explain it, and then it's like, depending on what type of person you are, if you can't stay present, and if you're a timid individual, they're not going to get it because you're not going to be able to finish explaining it, okay? So this is a tool for you to realize. If you're still out here, if you're able to be looking at this, you're part of the 20% that can live in the general population. And it's okay to have your moment. Just don't get stuck there. And a lot of therapists will say, it's okay. It's okay. And they say the reason why it's okay, because you're still here. Okay? That's the bottom point, bottom line. You're still here. You're surviving in the outside world. You're not part of the 80% that's in institutions or that did something that none of us wants to do. Okay? So, continue to push no matter how hard it gets, no matter if you're walking the journey alone. I'm proud of you. One day I'll feel proud of me. But as long as I can reach out and touch one person's heart, that's all that matters. Okay? That's all that matters. Nothing else matters to me is that other than me reaching at least one person to help them to understand certain situations that they're going through. Okay? All right.